Developing a deep understanding of your product or service. Everyone is a consumer in some form. Most of us buy groceries, drive vehicles that need maintenance, and seek answers when making purchases. Naturally, when we have a question, we turn to someone who can provide insight, someone with knowledge to help us make an informed decision. If you're the expert in your field, your customer will expect the same from you. While you may not have all the answers, you can equip yourself with a solid understanding of your product or service, along with most frequently asked questions before engaging with potential leads. Confidence in your pitch begins with product knowledge. If you're asked something that you're unsure about, respond with honesty. I'm not positive, but let me look into it and get back to you with a definitive answer. Never fake it. Providing incorrect information can lead to negative outcomes for your prospect, damage your reputation, and erode trust. Taking the time to find accurate answers not only positions you as a reliable expert, but also demonstrates that you care about helping your prospect make the right decision. Let me give you a few examples. When I call my attorney with a legal question related to a negotiation that I'm involved in, the conversation typically goes like this. I explain my concerns and outline what I'm aiming to accomplish. My attorney will then offer me general advice based on his experience. However, about 80% of the time, he'll say something similar to this. Let me double check a few things and I'll get back with you. What usually happens next is my attorney reviews relevant case law and past rulings to either validate his initial advice or suggest alternative strategies to help me reach my goals. Let me give you another example. The same applies when I speak with one of my lenders about loan products. Every lender has their own area of expertise. To give you some context, here are a few examples of what different lenders may specialize in. High limit credit cards, revolving lines of credit on owner-occupied properties, revolving lines of credit on investment properties, SBA loans, also referenced as small business loans, multifamily investment property loans, industrial property loans, and agricultural land loans. Some lenders also focus specifically on construction loans for particular property types, such as industrial properties, multifamily buildings, retail spaces, hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and single-family homes. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all lender, and loan programs often shift in response to market conditions. In many conversations with lenders, I'll hear something along the lines of, "We might be able to make an exception. Let me look into it and get back with you." What's usually happening behind the scenes is that the lender is presenting the loan scenario to either the investment committee or the underwriters to assess the level of risk and determine what options are viable. My last example, when I contact my general lines insurance agent for property and liability insurance quotes, they typically provide 2 to 3 options from different carriers. This allows me to compare coverage details and premiums so I can make an informed decision. It's important to note that carriers often adjust their offerings based on market conditions, which usually becomes apparent during your annual policy renewal. For example, I've experienced situations where a carrier stopped offering coverage in my area and premiums were significantly increased from one year to the next. In some cases, either outcome required me to seek coverage from a different carrier. The examples are intended to emphasize one key takeaway. It's perfectly acceptable to call people back. In fact, some might argue it's common and effective practice. It's also worth noting that certain industries tend to experience less frequent change. In these cases, I recommend regularly practicing scenarios with a partner, focusing specifically on overcoming objections and navigating potential hurdles.